Hey everyone, welcome back to Genai's Tech News. Let's get right into it, because we've got a big one to kick things off. According to both The Verge and TechCrunch, the Trump administration has stepped in and asked OpenAI to slow down the release of its next major model, GPT-5.6. This isn't just a delay for technical reasons. The White House reportedly raised concerns about potential security risks tied to the new model, and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman apparently told employees in an internal Q&A that the company would comply. So instead of a wide public launch, GPT-5.6 is now going to roll out in a limited preview. Only a small, select group of partners will get access first. No broad public release, at least not yet. Now, this is a pretty significant moment. We're talking about the executive branch of the U.S. government directly influencing the release timeline of a major commercial AI product. Whether you see that as responsible oversight or government overreach probably depends on where you stand, but either way, it sets a precedent that the tech world is going to be watching very closely. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over. All right, staying in the AI lane. Wired is reporting on a pretty eyebrow-raising position being staked out by Anthropic, the company behind the Claude AI models. Here's the gist. Anthropic is arguing that the best path to safe artificial intelligence is Anthropic becoming more powerful. Critics have been pushing back hard, saying the company is rapidly accumulating influence and control in the AI industry. But Anthropic's response, essentially, is yes, and that's the point. They believe that having safety-focused companies at the forefront of AI development is precisely what responsible progress looks like. Now, you can see the logic they're going for. If powerful AI is coming regardless, better to have safety-conscious players leading the charge than those who don't prioritize it. But critics argue this framing is a bit too convenient. It's a way of justifying enormous growth and influence under the banner of doing good. It's essentially the classic, trust us, we're the good guys argument, and as Wired points out, not everyone is buying it. This debate around who gets to control the future of AI and who decides what's safe is only going to intensify as these models get more capable. Okay, let's talk about something that's going to hit your wallet hard. The Verge is calling it RAMageddon, and honestly, the name fits. There's a full-blown memory and storage component crisis happening right now, and the price hikes are spreading fast. Apple has dramatically raised prices on MacBooks, and according to Wired, this could be your last chance to snag one at relatively affordable pricing for the foreseeable future. Apple, with its massive purchasing volume and thick profit margins, is normally the company that can absorb supply chain shocks better than anyone. So when even Apple blinks and raises prices, you know things are serious. And it's not just Apple. TechCrunch reports that Xbox is following suit, with Microsoft announcing that all Xbox console models will see price increases come August. And this is actually the second hike in less than a year. The company says memory and storage costs have more than doubled compared to previous levels. We're talking over 2.5 times higher. The Verge notes this component crunch is rippling across industries far beyond gaming and computing. It's hitting cars, appliances, you name it. If you've been sitting on the fence about buying a new laptop or a gaming console, the message from every corner of the tech world right now is pretty clear. Buy sooner rather than later. Prime Day deals on these products are looking especially attractive given what's coming. Here's a fun one for the mobile gaming and tech enthusiast crowd. The Verge is reporting that Android 17 is introducing a brand new dedicated gaming mode built specifically for foldable phones, and it's actually a pretty clever idea. Here's how it works. When you unfold your phone and launch a game, the new foldable gaming mode splits the screen in half. One half shows the game, and the other half displays a virtual gamepad with touch controls, essentially turning your foldable into something that feels a lot closer to a handheld gaming console. What makes this technically interesting is that the virtual controller operates at the system level, meaning it can emulate actual physical button presses. So instead of games needing to be individually updated to support on-screen controls, the system handles it natively. That's a big deal for compatibility. The feature is set to roll out in the coming months, so it's not available just yet. But this is clearly Google making a strong case for foldables as legitimate gaming devices, not just flashy productivity tools. For anyone who's been curious about jumping into the foldable market, this kind of platform-level support is exactly the kind of thing that makes that decision easier. Android 17 is shaping up to be a solid release. Alright, if you're a Shorts viewer or a creator, this one's relevant to you. Both The Verge and TechCrunch are reporting that YouTube has rolled out a significant update to Shorts, and let's just say TikTok probably recognizes a lot of these features. First up, a new clear screen mode that strips away all the interface clutter, buttons, icons, text overlays, so you can watch videos with nothing in the way. Very TikTok-esque. YouTube is also swapping out the thumbs up button for a heart icon. Again, looking familiar? And perhaps the most interesting addition, a 2x playback speed option, so you can blaze through Shorts even faster than before. There's also a new option that lets you watch Shorts on a larger portion of your screen, moving away from the tighter framing that's been standard. Look, YouTube has never been shy about borrowing from competitors, and honestly, features are features. If they make the experience better, most users aren't going to complain about where the inspiration came from. But it does raise the question of just how much creative differentiation remains between these short-form platforms. For creators, the 2x speed option is worth paying attention to. It changes how people consume your content, which means pacing and hooks in the first second matter more than ever. This next story is a sign of the times, and honestly a pretty fascinating one. Both TechCrunch and Ars Technica are reporting that Notion is killing off its email app, the one it built after acquiring the Skift team. And the reason is genuinely telling. Notion says most of its users have already handed over control of their email inboxes to AI agents. As in, the majority of people using Notion's email product weren't really managing their own email anymore. Agents were doing it for them. So Notion has decided to go all in on that AI agent experience rather than maintaining a traditional inbox app that most users had effectively stopped using themselves. This is one of those moments that feels like a quiet landmark. We talk a lot about AI agents eventually taking over routine tasks, but here's a real company making a real product decision because it's actually happening right now with real users. Notion says it's discontinuing the email inbox and redirecting those resources toward building out its agent platform. If you were using Notion Mail, you'll want to start looking for alternatives. But honestly, you might want to consider what an AI agent could do for your inbox regardless. The agentic era isn't coming. According to Notion's user data, it's already here. Okay, let's wrap today's show with something a little more fun, because it is Prime Day season, and there are some genuinely great deals worth knowing about. Wired and The Verge have both been covering the sale extensively, and a few standouts are worth calling out. First, Apple products. The Verge reports that Prime Day 2026 is delivering some of the best Apple discounts they've ever seen. The Apple Watch Series 11 has dropped to a new all-time low price, and the AirPods Pro 3 are sitting at $179. Wired has rounded up 19 Apple deals with discounts up to 30% off, covering iPads, MacBooks, iPhones, and accessories. On the laptop front, and circling back to what we discussed earlier about RAMageddon, Wired is specifically flagging that current MacBook Prime Day pricing may be the cheapest you'll see for a very long time, given Apple's recent price hikes. If a MacBook is on your list, this weekend is genuinely the time. Kindles are also up to 36% off, including the Paperwhite and ColorSoft, and vacuum deals from Shark, Dyson, and Bissell are hitting up to 42% off. And for gamers, The Verge is pointing out that Xbox consoles are discounted right now, before those August price increases land. Grab one while you can. Alright, that's going to do it for today's Genai Tech News. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe so you never miss an episode, and drop a comment letting us know which story caught your attention most. We'll see you next time.